I traded you.
Traded me.
Sense in here.
Oh my goodness.
What is up, everyone? Welcome to Ekelers Edge. I'm Liz Loza, and this, of course, is Chargers running back, fantasy football superstar, and Taurus sun sign, Austin Ekeler.
Shout out to all the Tauruses out there. Yeah, but looking forward to this episode, guys. It's going to be a good one.
We do. We got a great show for you. Austin's going to look ahead to another key AFC West clash. We'll play Make Your Pick. And we have actor as well as fantasy football trash talker extraordinaire Rainn Wilson joining the show.
Yes! 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 Yes!
Definitely looking forward to speaking with Rainn because I know he has me on his team. But before we get to then, let's get to some of these picks.
All right, Austin, we're going to start once again in the AFC West with your big 30-24 win over the Chiefs at Arrowhead. My goodness. And by the way, you had another big day as well, 107 total yards and a receiving score.
Hey, I gotta make sure I come through for the fantasy owners. And I obviously my team is first, Chargers, but then I gotta put some flavor on it and make sure I do my work for the fantasy owners as well out there. So shout out to all those people that have me on their team.
Let's talk about the matchup that you guys have in week 4. You and your Chargers are gonna keep it in the division for the second straight week, and you play host to the 3-0 Raiders. Like we saw any of that coming at us on Monday Night Football.
Yeah, hey. Our division is not messing around. Our division is coming to play.
This matchup showcases two powerful passing games. The Raiders lead the league, averaging nearly 380 yards per game, while your Chargers rank 4th with 307.3 yards passing per game. But from a fantasy perspective, what I am most intrigued by is this Mike Williams career renaissance. I mean, prior to this season, his production came mostly on like 20-plus yard receptions, but that is not the case this year. He's been catching the ball all over the field. I need you to talk to me about it.
Yeah, I think the numbers speak for themselves as far as what we're trying to use Mike for this year. In the past, like you said, it was always these bombs down the field. But the thing is, he's not like one of those 4-3 guys who's really going to take the top off. So I think our coach is kind of like, you know what, let's try using Mike underneath a little bit more. But I think it's definitely paid off because he's a big body, 6'4", right? Big frame and can move. And if you get the ball to someone like that in space, he has his giant broomstick arms that he stiff-arm people with and gets, an extra 10 yards down the field.
Well, we got to talk about the Raiders because, like I said, they are surprising a lot of folks. Derek Carr is leading the league in passing, and he's pushing the ball deeper down the field. He's averaging an ADOT of 9.2 yards. Now, I know your defense is going to do everything they can to shut down the silver and black, but between Hunter Renfrow, Henry Ruggs, and Bryan Edwards, which of these pass catchers not named Darren Waller could have the biggest fantasy impact?
Ooh, definitely Ruggs. Just the way he's been progressing and he's been growing as a player. We got to double team this guy, but you can't double team every single play. And so there's going to be those little spots where, hey, he's singled up or he's got a one-on-one and man, and you're going to be able to give him the ball. So I think Henry Ruggs is going to be something that we're going to try to shut down. Absolutely. I hope my defense shuts all of them down. But I think Henry Ruggs is going to be one of their go-tos besides Darren Waller.
Austin, last week you correctly called starting Derek Carr over Teddy Bridgewater, but I do think I should remind you that I suggested going with Jamar Chase over Rondale Moore. It's fine, though. We gave the people some good information.
Yeah, hey, you definitely killed it with that.
I'm going to give you 2 players, and you tell me who you would start in week 4, and we're going to kick it off with 2 stud receivers who've kind of underwhelmed so far this season for fantasy managers. The first of which is Tyreek Hill. He's coming off a pair of quiet outings, and he's at the Eagles. Or Stephon Diggs. He's home versus the Texans.
I'm actually going with Stephon Diggs. I'm going to go with the high rollers. I'm going to go with the guys that have continued to be scoring high amounts of points, moving the ball. I think Diggs is, inevitably going to be a part of that scoring. I just think he's just outside of it, right? They're in a situation kind of like us in the Chargers. They have so many different weapons that are playing well. You have great players. You can't hold these guys down. They're eventually going to continue to do what they've done in the past. Tyreek being the same. So I don't think you can go wrong with either of these picks, but I'm going Stephon Diggs.
I'm going to have them very close, probably back-to-back in my rankings. The one thing about the Houston-Buffalo matchup is that Buffalo is favored by over 16 points. And I know that this is a pass-friendly offense. I know that Brian Dable doesn't like to pump the brakes, but I think there could be more opportunities for the running game for Zach Moss. We've seen him come on over the past few weeks. And so I do think Stephon Diggs scores in this one, but I also think Tyreek Hill flirts with close to 100 yards. They've got to scheme him into the game plan more frequently after 2 quiet weeks.
So are you going with Tyreek then?
I think I'm going to go with Tyreek overall. I do think so.
I like it. I like it. We shall see. Time will tell.
Let's move to the quarterback position. We've got Sam Darnold, who is flourishing in Carolina, but he's going to be without Christian McCaffrey, and he's at the Cowboys. Or we also have Taylor Heineke, who's coming off of a down outing, but he has a really nice matchup against the Falcons, and he's at Atlanta for that one.
I feel like Taylor Heineke is going to beat the quarterback here. I do think Christian McCaffrey not being in the picture is going to make a big difference. And just seeing what the Cowboys defense just did with the Eagles, I think they're going to struggle. Yeah, I think Taylor Heineke is going to pull it through with the Falcons, who I think have been struggling just defensively. So I think that's going to play out. And I'm taking Taylor over this one.
Wow, going Heineke. I mean, especially after Sam Darnold showed up pretty well on prime time. He's got 10 days to figure out a game plan without CMC, but I'm with you. I think there is some sneaky rushing upside that Heineke can bring for fantasy purposes. So we're in alignment on this one.
All right. Hopefully this one plays out then.
We'll see. We're going to change it up a little bit on this last one. Rob Gronkowski was banged up last week at the Rams, but the MRI on his ribs came back negative. Austin, is there any way that Gronk doesn't smash in this game? Do you think he'll really be limited by the rib issue?
The ribs could be definitely a thing. I've dealt with rib injuries in the past, and yeah, I mean, there's no hiding from ribs. But when you have more motivation, where it's a team that you used to play for, I mean, there might be a little salt, who knows, with the whole Tom situation. You know, it gives you an extra motivator just to want to play the hardest that you've been playing against that specific team. And I'm looking forward to watching it play.
Ooh, I think we are all looking forward to watching this matchup. But for fantasy purposes, Dalton Del Don, who is one of our experts here at Yahoo Fantasy, his fearless forecast for Gronk at the Patriots is 5 catches for 55 yards and a touchdown. Are you going over or under that line?
I'm going to take the over on that. I think there's going to see a little chemistry between Tom and Rob. That's, you know, something that we've been used to for years, that we used to see, you know, with the Patriots. I mean, it'll just kind of be a little slap in the face to the organization. Like, hey, because Tom's out there proving, like, you know what, you guys let me go way too early. You know, you guys didn't believe in me, and I think that's awesome where Tom's just out there, like, still doing it at his age, and with Rob, too.
I love it. I am totally with you. I think this matchup is going to feature the 3 S's. Lots of smash, lots of Gronk spikes, and plenty of salt. You called it. We are very excited to say that we are now joined by actor, comedian, writer, director, producer, and most importantly, fantasy football fanatic, Rainn Wilson. Thanks for being here, Rainn.
Liz and Austin, I can't tell you how thrilled I am to be with you guys. Thanks for having me on your little show.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Really looking forward to it. You know, we've had some special guests, but I would say up to this point, you're my favorite. Definitely my favorite.
Oh!
Yes.
You hear that, Liz?
I'm saying special guest. Liz is always here to hold it down. But Rainn, yeah, definitely looking forward to this, man.
I think it's safe to say that, Rainn, you are most well known for your portrayal of Dwight on The Office, but what we really want to talk to you about is the Office Fantasy Football League. I mean, how did it start? Who's involved?
So the Office Fantasy Football League is Dunder Mifflin. We do it there on Yahoo. I think like 12 years we've been going, and me and John Krasinski and Brian Baumgartner from the cast are very strong. A lot of crew members. Our commissioner is was the stand-in on the show, and a bunch of writers. And it's pretty cutthroat, and we take it pretty darn seriously. I've won once, I think. I came in third like twice, but usually I'm down in the bottom third.
Rainn, I think it's interesting that you have already mentioned your former castmate, Brian Baumgartner, aka Kevin Malone, on The Office.
Yep.
He was recently a guest on The Rush here on Yahoo Sports, and he had this to say about your fantasy exploits.
Rainn talks more trash than anyone. Week to week, when you are competing against him, you will hear from him almost daily, and on Sundays multiple times, giving you updates as to how much he's kicking your ass, even though you're looking at it at the same time. He gets a little quiet when he's getting beat, though, that's for sure.
So, Rainn, I mean, what say you to that? Is it true?
It's true. What can I say? Guilty. We have a good time now. I lay it on a little heavy. I lay it on a little thick.
So, Rainn, we know that you're invested. What about John Krasinski? How are they at it?
John Krasinski did Yahoo auto draft because he was shooting Jack Ryan in like Romania or something like that. And he is in first place. He is the only 3-0.
Okay, Yahoo.
Well, Yahoo Auto Rankings, by the way, Yahoo Auto Draft is in accordance with the experts' rankings, so you're welcome.
All right. Well, I don't know. I'm looking at this team of his. I'm like, I don't know how he's done it. It's an okay team. I give it a B+, but I don't think it doesn't look like a 3-0 team to me. Sorry.
How have you been doing this year?
Well, thank God in my office fantasy football league, I traded Austin Ekeler, running back for the Los Angeles San Diego Chargers, for Ezekiel Elliott to Brian Baumgartner, and then Elliott got me like 26 points last night.
You traded me.
I traded you.
Traded me.
Sense in here.
Oh my goodness.
But hold on a second. The reason I traded you is I had you in my other league, and I just wanted to mix it up a little bit.
Okay,
and,
I'll take that.
Austin, you should know, because Rainn and I are in a different league together, and I drafted on behalf of Joel McHale, who's in the league, and Rainn and I got into a bidding war over you in that. So he has your back. You go tell him, Rainn.
I went to the mat for you, man. I way overpaid. This is an auction league.
Overpaid?
Man!
I
way overpaid, but
you need more from me is what you're saying. I'm gonna do my best. Hey, it's not enough points for Rainn. Rainn needs more from Austin Ekeler.
Thank you so much for joining us, Rainn. We really appreciate you being here.
Hey, so much fun. And Liz, I'll see you in our little league. And Austin, what a pleasure to see you, man. I hope to see you play live one of these days.
Heck yeah. You might not see me soon, but you'll see me on your fantasy team. It'll be, hey, I'll score you a bunch of points, and I'll be like my little wink to you, like, hey, I got your back, Rainn.
I love it.
Wow, well, that was a jam-packed.
All right, hang on, Liz. Before we keep going, like, don't be trading me away, you guys. Like, come on. Like, look, I'm getting consistent. We're getting a roll. Herbert's rolling. The offense is going. And so, like, take it easy. Take it easy on the trades for now. Sheesh.
Nobody does more for fantasy managers than Austin Ekeler. Come on, y'all. Can't be trading away my co-host.
I'm telling you. But, hey, well, if that's the decision, I hope I'm going to make you regret it. So, good luck, you guys, this week in fantasy. Catch us on Monday Night Football. It's going to be a good one, us against the Raiders. And peace out.